Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Lola Mastercard My Team Career Mode, or whatever you want to call it. So we're just getting ready to do our Monza race weekend. We had a corporate thing flash up, so I thought we could get another sponsor, but no, we can't at the moment. It's just telling us we've got new car liveries available. But why would we want to change the beautiful look of the Lola Mastercard just yet? So as you can see, we're just having a look in our overall engine department and we're around 40% overall across the engine, but the components there that you can see that have only got 2 associated to them, so we can only have 2 for the season before we start taking penalties. I've reverted back to the number 1 because that's got less wear overall. And for practice, as you can see, our practice gearbox is absolutely knackered. So we'll be ordering a new one of those, not taking any penalties of course because it's available just in FP1 and FP2. So we thought we'd get another one of those ordered while we can, and as you can see the other gearbox, it's done 2 out of the 6 races and still looking fairly fresh at the moment. Having a quick look in the R&D tree, I don't think there's going to be anything we're able to do here, mainly because we're struggling for resource points because everything seems to be around 1100 points now. And not only that, but I think we've pretty much got something happening in every department at this moment in time. So a couple of major updates to come as well. So fingers crossed they'll really help the car go forward. As you can see, 1 components, but that's just the gearbox, so we don't need to worry about that. That's the practice gearbox that we will be swapping. And as we head into qualifying for Monza, as you can see, it is incredibly wet. We're on intermediate tyres, yet another wet session. These last 3 races have all had intermittent weather, so you can definitely tell we're in Europe. And we're coming round to finish our flying lap now, and it's going to be what we're going to get. The session has already ended. We waited till the end because we missed out in one of the race weekends where it was wet, dry conditions, and we timed it wrong. So we just thought, let's go for it this time. We'll go out at the end, and whatever happens, happens. And there we go, P15 over the line. And that is where hopefully we should stay, and we do indeed. So fairly happy with that. Reasonable. Wet conditions, as you saw. They don't seem to be playing to our strong points lately. But nonetheless, over 1 lap, 15th place will certainly take that. So yeah, we're very happy with that. Nick de Vries down in 20th, but that's not too bad for him. And once again, it's time to hand you over to the incapable hands of Mr. David Croft.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula 1 World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today here at the oldest circuit on the calendar. Monza hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. They must be starting to feel the pressure at this point, and surely. There's a real shot at the title on the cards here, but one error at the wrong time, well, that could throw it all away.
Of course, there's never a good time to make mistakes, but it will feel 10 times worse if it happens at such a critical point of the season. Let's hope this contest is settled where it should be, on track, wheel to wheel.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Stroll, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Ocon, Gasly, Kvyat and Alexander Albon. Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, the scientist, Vettel, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Roman Grosjean. Magnussen, De Vries, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So as you can see there, a grid drop for Lewis Hamilton, one of the championship protagonists. He's dropped a few positions off his grid spot, and away we go now from P14 on the grid. We've got Daniel Ricciardo ahead, as well as Lando Norris, as well as Lewis Hamilton, who takes that grid penalty, of course. And we're going to send it up the inside. We're already off the racing line, as is someone else. We're already on 2 wheels on the grass, and we're sending it, absolutely lunging it up the inside there. P9 already. Can we get any more? Any advance on P9? We've gone a little bit wide. We had a bit of a touch there from Pierre Gasly this time in the other AlphaTauri. We had quite a lot of argy-bargy from his teammate last time out at Spa, but nonetheless now we're battling with the other one, the sister AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. We're going to try around the outside now as we're battling to retake that P9 position. Once again, as is customary with this Lola Mastercard car, we send a bit of our front wing flying. It's only yellow and the car doesn't seem to be suffering badly. We're getting a change of strategy now because they think we should pit for a wing, but I'm telling them no, we're on a low downforce circuit. Round the corners it feels fine at this moment in time, so let's not pit. Let's not ruin the race. For heaven forbid, we've had a good start. We don't want to ruin the race now. And as you can see, we're in P9 at the moment. Danny Kvyat ahead. Lewis Hamilton now behind as Pierre Gasly slips back from that initial contact we had with him. And yeah, all in all, a good start there. 5 places gained off the grid. And we're looking strong. We're looking very strong indeed. Looking to see if we can gain any ground on Danny Kvyat, Carlos Sainz ahead, and the rest, of course. But P9 for now, back into the points, and it looks like Valtteri Bottas is the race leader at the moment as we begin lap 2. And as you can see there, we're still around a second between the pair of us, ahead and behind. And there we go, on to lap 3 now. DRS time, we've caught up and got into the DRS of Danny Kvyat. Can we make any moves at the moment? Well, he's looking to make a move on Carlos Sainz ahead, and we can't do it here. Unfortunately, the corner's just not tight enough for anyone to be able to make a move, or at least not at this moment in time anyway. Overtake button enabled once again. We've got Danny Kvyat sparking. The Alpha Tauri's love to spark. We mentioned it quite a few times this season. And Danny Kvyat, our main rival from Spa, we are now clashing wheels with him once again, and we'll be fighting tooth and nail to get the P8 off of him. DRS enabled, of course, as well as the overtake button, and we're going to go full chat down the straight as fast as possible. 215 mile an hour, we're bouncing off the limiter, and we're going to send it up the inside, are we? Absolutely. He jinks to the right to try and fend us off once again, but we know that move, and we're not going to stand for it. And there we go, into P8 as the rest of the pack ahead are battling as well. It looks like there's potentially a racing point up there, a Renault as well perhaps, so it looks like it's getting very dicey up front. We've got Max Verstappen only a couple of places ahead of us as well, and Lewis Hamilton a position behind us now as he capitalises on the overtake we did on Danny Kvyat and sneaks his way through too. So we're looking on the back of Carlos Sainz now, this long line of cars. We've got yellow flags though behind briefly, and now we've flicked on to greens again. Not sure what that was for. Again, green flags, yellow flags. We've got DRS enabled, but I don't think we're going to be able to do anything just yet. And we've got Pierre Gasly out of the session and a safety car. Yet another safety car in this race. So it's time for us to pit. We've told the team, no, do not change my front wing. I'm okay with how it is. I can drive the car with the little bit of damage that we do have, of course. So we're pitting as are quite a few cars. We're coming in P8. So that's not too bad. We're in the points, a few points able to be picked up and gained there. That's Lewis Hamilton behind. It looks like he's already stopped. Oh, it could have been Bottas actually. So we changed the wing, 3 seconds, not a bad stop for the Lola Mastercard team. We're looking behind us because we heard our teammate was coming in as well. So I just wanted to make sure he didn't get held up by our stop, but I think there was a big enough gap between us to not cause too many problems or delays. We actually come out in P7, so someone has been hindered in that stop, probably double stacking. So we are P7 on returning to the grid, and it looks like we're all good to go now for a restart on lap 6 of 13, so we're almost halfway there. In fact, when we cross the line at lap 7 we will be beyond halfway race distance, and we're going to try and take advantage of Verstappen straight away. Yep, look at that, we've got Rich Mick's overtake button enabled before the green flags was even going, and we're already pulling alongside now, and we're through into P6 by the looks of things. And we're going to be able to try and make a move on Ocon, who's having a cracking race at this moment in time, and he's trying to battle his way past Charles Leclerc in that Ferrari. There's a couple of racing points up ahead, so they're doing very well. In fact, both racing points will be on the podium. So they're doing incredibly well, but we are doing fantastically well as well. P6 ahead of a Red Bull now of Max Verstappen, again one of those championship protagonists, so we're taking points off of him. And he won't be very happy with that, but we're just racing our own race. We're not fighting for a championship, we're just trying to fight for every paying position we can get, because we've been on a fantastic streak of them recently, and we're not looking to give that up anytime soon. So we jump all the way to lap 9 now, and we're still P6 fighting with Ocon, who's dropped off the back of Charles Leclerc. Unfortunately, slipping a little bit back now is Esteban Ocon, but still having a cracking race compared to his teammate. I'm not sure where his teammate is actually. I think Ricciardo was behind us when we were down in about 9th or 10th, so not a good race by him. But for the fellow Renault, Ocon, is having a cracker, but we've got overtake, we've got DRS enabled. We're going to try and go for a move. We're going to send it up the inside, and there we go. Two wheels on the curb, bouncing over both curves there as we go in completely late, far too late. But we make it stick nonetheless, and we are through into P5 now with just 21 cars remaining, of course. Pierre Gasly out of the race early doors, causing that safety car. Yeah, another safety car. I don't know if anyone else is having this, but there's a hell of a lot of safety cars in my career mode. And we've got a racing point in. We've got a racing point in of Lance Stroll, so we're up to P4 now. Well, that's a surprise, and what's even more surprising is Esteban Ocon's trying for another attack. He's going to come through on us on the first DRS zone of a lap, as we did it previously. We're banging wheels there. I try for an ambitious, audacious move there. Max Verstappen trying to claw at our heels now to try and retake this P5, what it will be now. And we're attacking Esteban Ocon for P4, one position away from the podium places. And that's a great shame for Stroll. Obviously they didn't pit him during the safety car, so he's going to be well outside the points now as we're hopping over the curb there, cutting the corner a little bit as we get the braking point slightly wrong, trying to mount an attack once again on Esteban Ocon. Can we get him in this second DRS zone like we did a couple of laps ago? Well, hopefully we can. We can mount an attack, overtake Rich Mix, DRS, you know it, it's the hat trick, and we're going straight for it again. We're going to go for it. He's fending the inside off, but he thinks better of it, and once again we are gliding our way through, and once again, two wheels on the curb, carrying far too much speed through the corner. As you can see there, dipping two wheels into the gravel, incredibly lucky not to spin. That's cost us time. But as we enter lap 11 now, about to start lap 12, we are still away and gone at this moment in time. It looks like Ocon's going to get the DRS on us once again though. Lewis Hamilton's coming into the mix now with the fastest lap. It looks like he's got ahead of his championship rival in Max Verstappen. Ocon knocks the front right up. That's not good for him. We're fending him off around the outside. It was a good move initially, but of course the way it flicks back, we get the momentum out of the corner by being on the outside and can carry more speed through the final complex. And here we go on the final lap of the race. We're attacking Ocon once again for P4. He got us in our favourite overtaking spot where we've got him twice, and now we're fending him off. We're having a bit of contact there, a bit of wheel banging once again. I was a little bit cheeky there and tried to go for the racing line knowing Ocon was there, but I was just trying to get him to back out of the throttle. But we are into P4 now, and it looks like we're on for a strong result whatever happens, whether we lose out to Ocon or not. Hamilton's going to be our biggest threat as we bounce over the corner once again. That's cost us time. I lifted off the throttle to avoid any warnings or penalties. We don't want that at this late stage of the race. It looks like we're still in P4, of course. We've got Leclerc miles ahead of us now. The top three are away and gone. Bottas is second though, so that must mean that the racing point of Sergio Perez is leading the race, because as I mentioned earlier, it looked like both of them were on for a podium. As Lewis Hamilton gets past Esteban Ocon behind, so we've got to be incredibly wary now of what is carrying on and what's kicking off behind, because one of them or both of them could lunge us down this long straight. It's Ocon that's retaken the position away from Lewis Hamilton though, and he's trying to go around our outside right now. And going around the outside he is doing. We're fending off and fighting the position though up the inside, but he's going to get better traction. Is he around the outside? Yes he is, so we're going to lose out to P4 on the final corner. We get a bit of contact there over the line as well. I think that was from Hamilton trying to benefit from that late little bit of Sergio DRS he would have had trying to cross the line. And we end up P5 and take driver of the day once again. So the Lola Mastercard drivers collecting driver of the day quite a few times. That was one of the AlphaTauris there running at the side of us to offer his congratulations. A solid race by AlphaTauri by the looks of things as well, if he was finishing that high up. Otmar Safnauer looking absolutely ecstatic there, as you saw. The Italian crowd there waving the flags and loving life, and there it was Sergio Perez that won the race. What a shame for Stroll. They should have pitted him at the same time, and it could have been a double racing point podium, potentially even a 1-2, because I said they were looking strong and they qualified strong as well. And now you know what it's time for. Sergio Perez taking the top spot from Valtteri Bottas, from Charles Leclerc, so a nice mixed up podium there. He lifts the trophy high, and you know what it's time for. It's time for the champagne!
After this round of the World Championship, Here's how things
So there you go, Sergio Perez from Valtteri Bottas, from Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, ourselves, Lewis Hamilton with the fastest lap, Danny Kvyat, then Max Verstappen, so Max lost out on a further position, Daniel Ricciardo climbing up to P9 in the end, and Carlos Sainz in the McLaren collecting the final point. Our teammate once again, he doesn't have the best qualifying, but in the races he gains the places and he's in P15, so that is a decent result once again from a really rookie driver still within the team. And look at that for the championship battle. 218 Lewis Hamilton, 218 Valtteri Bottas, 214 Max Verstappen. Those points paying positions are going to be crucial as we enter the final stages, but still a lot to play for. We of course had 10 points to our tally, so we're on 68 points now, comfortably in that 7th place position in the Constructors, and at the moment we're comfortably in the 10th place position in the Drivers' Championship again, so top 10 and top 7, fantastic effort there. And here we go, we're back into the factory now. It's time to advance time to get ready for the Singapore Sling, the Singapore Grand Prix of course, minus the Sling now. Unfortunately that corner no longer in Formula 1, which is a great shame, but we've got quite a lot of days to fill. So we're going to film it with some team building department for the Aero. We're going to do a sponsor event, get the coins in, get the reputation in, and see what's to come of it. A PR filming day, I didn't think that was good because it's not good for team morale. And we need team morale high because we're wanting to develop more parts as we get later on into the season. And then a little sponsor event there, a filming day, to complete that. So that's all good to go. We can advance time and get those days and events done, get some more cash on the board, and of course the R&D now with almost 2,000 points. Of course we've still got a part in development there, so that's the monocoque structure. When that comes, that will be a major update, but we're also going to improve the aerodynamics which of the suspension actually, so we're going to streamline the suspension arms. Once again a major update. And because the reputation's happy, only a 27% chance of failure, so we're going to go for that. I'm going to have a couple of major updates coming in recent weeks, so by the end of the season we could be looking at challenging quite a few teams ahead, and Nick De Vries certainly will be popping up the order some more. So yeah, we've still got 600 points available, but we're going to save those for another day as every department has reached maximum capacity now. So there you go, advancing all the time now, once again, as we head to Singapore. So as always, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you all for Singapore next week. And as always, take care, and I'll see you soon. Much love.